I'm going to talk now about health and environment. As you know, we took it out of our logo. I see that you've got the old shirt on, but that's cool, all good. But just want to explain why we took the slogan out of the logo. So we are an animal rights organization. We've never deemed ourselves to be an environmentalist group, a group of environmentalists trying to change the world for the betterment of the environment. We've never claimed to be a nutritionist organization, a group of nutritionists trying to change the world for the betterment of human health. We've only ever claimed to be an animal rights organization. The reason is because that's what we want to focus on, animal rights. We're a vegan organization. But there's this myth that exists in the vegan movement that when you promote health and environment, these things will get people more interested in animal rights. And that's the reason why we've been talking about these things, is to try to get them hooked. If someone doesn't seemingly care about animals, well, I guess I'll talk to them about health. Because they have heart disease, I guess I'll talk to them about how they can reverse their heart disease by eating a plant-based diet. If they don't seemingly care about the animals, we think we'll talk to them about the environment. If they seemingly care about the environment, we'll talk to them about how this is destroying the rainforest, this is destroying, our climate crisis. The idea that this will lead someone to animal rights and caring about animal rights is a complete myth. Like I said, again, animal rights is obvious. Nobody in their right mind would be comfortable with the label of being an animal abuser. So it's not a matter of people not caring about animal rights, it's a matter of you not promoting animal rights correctly. It may seem like a tough pill to swallow to hear that, but I'm only telling you this because it's the truth and it's what I've learned to be true. People avoid animal rights and make you think they don't care about animal rights for a reason. It's a distraction, like I said. They create distractions. They don't want to face something that's obviously wrong. And then you buy into that by then pandering to environment and health. And people don't care about animals because the way that we advocate veganism to people doesn't care about animals. Does that make sense? It seems like in this movement, the more I hear people advocating for veganism, the less I hear animal rights being tied into it. It almost seems like the animals barely get a mention these days. They quickly get mentioned and then we move on to how this is really bad for the environment and really bad for your health. So that's why people don't care about animal rights. The vegan movement hasn't been promoting animal rights. I also just want to say this, those who say that what I'm doing is aggressive, that this isn't compassionate, well, the irony, the way I see it is, the irony is that when people aren't advocating for the animals in the way that they communicate directly, then you're actually putting the compassion you want to receive from the abuser before the compassion you're supposed to be extending to the victim. So that's why I think that's hypocritical. I think that's hypocrisy. Right? If we truly are compassionate beings, then we need to extend compassion to the victims. And when we're talking to the abuser, like I've already explained, it is actually the truest form of compassion to offer the abuser education. What do we usually do with abusers? We put them in prison, don't we? Right? If these beings were any other species other than a non-human, so if they were human, these people would be put in prison, wouldn't they? There would be no conversation on the streets, no trying to convince people. They would be interrogated in a small room and they would be put into prison. So this is compassion. This is the most compassionate thing we can possibly do, is try to wake people up with our words. But if we pander and we move away from animal rights when we're talking to people, then we're only doing more of an injustice, more of a disservice to the animals.